So, I'm so insecure at this point, I just have this constant inner monologue saying the meanest to me all the time.
Why am I so insecure? It's a good question because you asked it. And it's our job at 412 Teens to be your community and answer it in a biblical way. Insecurity is defined as lacking confidence or assurance, self-doubt. We can feel insecure in our friendships, family relationships, and even insecure about ourselves.
It means I don't feel comfortable in my own skin.
As Christians, we have a solid, unshakable foundation in God, the only person, place, or thing in the universe who is 100% trustworthy and reliable.
That's cool, but the thing is,
I'm insecure, so I sell myself.
The root cause of insecurity often comes back to misplaced trust. That's right, trust. Sometimes we place too much trust or the wrong kind of trust in someone or something without even knowing it. It's subconscious. Maybe you've been told your whole life that you're worthless, insufficient, or unworthy of love. If that's all you've ever heard, then you're likely to believe it because you don't have a second option to believe in.
Jody, if I'm insecure, it's because you made me this way.
Maybe you've been told that if you get good grades, you'll get into that college you want. Or if you just got a boyfriend or girlfriend, you'd be emotionally fulfilled. Or if you could just get that amazing car, job, or thing, whatever it is, you'd finally be able to make friends with the cool kids.
You're right. I'm a loser.
But then you get the good grades or that relationship you wanted, and you find you're still spiritually, mentally, and emotionally lonely. That's when trust starts to break down.
Girl made me trust myself, man.
Suddenly, you don't know who or what to trust and become fearful of being hurt or betrayed. Who/what am I trusting in for my security? If you've struggled with insecurity for a while, you've likely heard.
But that's when we need to trust in God the most.
Unfortunately, that doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't help that Satan is always like,
why don't we forget about Jesus?
Instead of trusting in God to give you the good, godly friends you need, maybe Satan has you believing God will provide that fancy phone or the $50 makeup kit that might raise your social status. Are you trusting in a specific means of provision? Are you entrusting your security to good grades, acceptance by friends, approval of your parents, a job, a degree?
I need you to take a breath.
Or are you trusting God's promises to care for you and love you, even if you don't fully understand how God will do it? How can I tell if someone's trustworthy?
Let me clarify this.
It's not wrong to trust. Trust is needed for any healthy relationship, but it's important to be wise about who we trust, with how much, and with what.
Yeah, that's clear as mud.
Sorry. Here's an example. If a friend promises you that your parents won't get divorced, then that friend is making a flippant promise they can't keep. But maybe this same friend is great at answering your texts when you feel down. They aren't necessarily a terrible friend because they make flippant promises, but
I want to warn you that she's not the type of person you can trust.
Implicitly with something really important. We live in a fallen world with flawed people. Parents, pastors, and other authority figures aren't perfect either. If we place the expectation of perfection on another person, we'll be disappointed every time, and they may implode from the pressure. Only Jesus is 100% secure and reliable. How can I learn to trust God?
I can't trust him as far as I can throw him.
Maybe you have trouble trusting anyone at all, much less a spiritual being that you cannot see. But we urge you to pray for victory in that battle.
Now that should be your first, second, third, fourth, and fifth concern. Now that should be your first.
Ask God to help you process your disappointments and fears.
Second.
Ask Him to show you where you're misplacing your trust.
Third.
Ask Him for wisdom about establishing healthy boundaries.
Fourth.
Ask God to build your identity in Him.
And fifth concern.
Simply learn more about who God is. All that is a tall order for sure, but knowing God more personally can be truly rewarding. The more you know about God's character, the easier it is to rely on Him as a source of security. He loves you so much that He sent His Son into the world to reach your heart and to rescue you from the enslavement of sin and darkness.
Because He made me feel comfortable in my own skin.
The bottom line is, children of God, we have 100% security in His love, grace, and mercy. God is willing and desiring to embrace and comfort you, if only you will let Him. Study His promises and discover just how much He desires to make you not only feel secure, but actually be secure. That was the answer to the question, why am I so insecure? Be sure to thumb, sub, bell, and anchor your metaphorical boat to the spiritual dock that is Jesus Christ.